Welcome back, everybody. It's Jeff again with J&K Stay in Vegas with another episode of Walk with Jeff. No, we are not at the Mirage. The nice foliage is already gone at the Mirage, turning into the Hard Rock. But this place here, Mandalay Bay, still kind of gives me those Mirage vibes with the tropical trees, palm trees, and all that. And I thought this would be a lovely place to start our walk today. And today, we're going to see how long it takes to walk to the Las Vegas sign. And once we get there, see what else is around there that you can check out. If you want to make this walk, if you always thought, I wonder how far it is to the Las Vegas sign, with Mandalay Bay being, the southernmost, kind of on the Las Vegas Strip proper, I'm going to show you right now. So without further ado, let me get our timer started right there. And here we go. There was a time in the 90s where once all these hotels owners saw that the tropical feel was really working with the Mirage, other hotels decided to follow suit. You had Treasure Island, say Mandalay Bay, as we're looking at here. Used to be a lot more water here, but trying to do a lot of water conservation now. This is still a very nice, pretty area. You can see down here, there used to be water that went through here as well. But we'll continue our walk here. There is Mandalay Bay right there. And like I said, we will go down and see how long it takes us to walk to the Las Vegas sign, the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, that is. Even go over here and you can check some of these things out. I guess I'm not giving you a very accurate of how long it takes, but you'll probably do this as well. You'll probably stroll along as well and want to see some of these things. So probably give you a more honest look at how long it's going to take. You can see all this water is gone, unfortunately. In fact, even when we did our Where's My Coffee, Where's My Room about 3 years ago of Mandalay Bay, I started over here. And in fact, when I did start, I was like, oh, wow, this water rushing is way too loud for the microphone. But now, unfortunately, or fortunately for me with a microphone, don't have to worry about that. It's still pretty, like I said. And along the way to the Welcome Las Vegas sign, I will give you some history, I love to give you some Vegas history. Look at those. Welcome you into Mandalay Bay. And some things along the way, especially if you come to Vegas, once in a blue moon, you may not be up to speed on everything going on here. And we do live here, by the way, if you've just stumbled across our video. We've lived here about 13 years now. Here we are at Mandalay Bay Road. And there's the strip all the way down there. The A's ballpark, where the Tropicana used to sit, is over there. Here's that look at Mandalay Bay before we start walking here. All right, we've got to walk down this way. You've probably heard about all of these things that have started to build and then nothing happens. I'll be showing you a few of those along the way, including this one right here. These two pylons were supposed to be like another high roller wheel, like a big Ferris wheel. That has been like that for I don't know how many years now. I would say at least through 2012. That's when we got here. And these pylons were there that whole time. So if you know when they put these up, drop it in the comments below. It's definitely before our tenure here. They've had little things like this little mini circus. I can't remember his name, but he was over here. They try to utilize the land, but still sits there after at least 12 years, 13 years actually. I love all these palm trees here. And you may see a lot of videos of some of these sites that we cover, and it's just really hard to, especially if you watch different videos from different creators on YouTube, sometimes it's harder to kind of get a gauge of how far something is, not to mention just, getting that first person point of view to really figure out where you're going. Because as creators in YouTube, you really have to tighten up the video, because if you don't have your people watch all the way to the end, then YouTube says, oh, well, I guess these people don't really think this video is worth it. Look at that old desert oasis motel/apartments. Some history right there. There have been a few of these little motels that have been torn down. This Nirvana hotel, I think, is still here. And don't do this. I've mentioned this 1,000 times. Do not do this. It is not worth saving a couple minutes on the light. This is not like your normal hometown where you can just kind of cut across. Don't do it. So one of the many exits coming out of here, I did a rideshare locations of all the MGM properties. I still need to do a Caesar's Palace one, but that rideshare pickup is over in this general area. Whole bunch of little strip malls, of course. Some McDonald's over there. Panda Express. Even some Indian cuisine if that's your thing. Kind of a sister property to Mandalay Bay is Four Seasons, and that's coming up here. Again, what used to be here on the side of Mandalay Bay, drop it in the comments below what used to be here at Mandalay Bay. In fact, you know what? I'll just give you a second. Don't Google it. Try to remember. Dun 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 dun. Well, used to be the Hacienda here, where Mandalay Bay sits now. That closed in 1996, and Mandalay Bay opened in March of 1999. In fact, one of my buddies from high school, he's like been to Vegas like 2 times, maybe. And I said, where did you stay when you came to Vegas? He said, oh, I stayed, really like on the end of the strip. I said, Mandalay Bay? No, it wasn't Mandalay Bay. I'm like, you can't mean the Hacienda. Yeah, that's what it was, Hacienda. Lordy. That's how long it had been since he had been here. So this is Four Seasons Drive. Again, it's a sister property of Mandalay Bay. You check in right around the corner at the lobby of Mandalay Bay. Harry Reid International Airport is just right over there. Although do not walk to the airport. Once in a while down on Tropicana, I'll see people with luggage going all the way down. Don't do it. It's way too long of a walk, even though it looks like it's pretty close. Big old charter plane over there. I love me some aviation. I'll have to get a good look at that on our return trip here. Again, I don't know how long it's going to take us. I usually just drive this. So I thought this might be helpful to our viewers in case you want to walk down to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. Now, if you are staying in the middle of the strip, you know we've done walks from the Bellagio, kind of in the middle of the strip. I would suggest if you want to come down this way and save a couple of bucks, use the Deuce bus. You can get a pass for 20 bucks. And that $20 pass will last you for 3 days. But if you're coming here between September and December, the Deuce bus may get backed up because of all the F1 installation. There's a lot of traffic around the middle of the strip during that time. So that might be the only caveat to that. And of course, if you do rideshare, they're going to have the same issues with the traffic. But I would probably not walk this all the way from Bellagio, say, or somewhere in the middle of the strip, all the way to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. That's a little too far. Even this walk just from Mandalay Bay, being the southernmost property, is going to be a little bit of a walk. There's the Diamond Inn, no longer. And again, I'll show you a few other things along the way too. One thing, they carry the palm trees all the way down the meridian of the Las Vegas Strip. Get a lot of the tour helicopters. They take you to the Grand Canyon, Hoover Dam, all that. Maverick is one of them. We did a tour with Max Tour, a couple of them actually. One that took us from here to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, to the 7 Magic Mountains, to Hoover Dam. To Joshua Tree, and then the west rim of the Grand Canyon, and then we did a trip with Max Tour to Death Valley. Check those out on our channel. You want to see what that's like. Awesome people. It's a small tour group in a van, so you're not with a huge bus of people. This right here, this is our next major cross street. This is Russell. If you've been watching our Movie Monday videos, so like some of the real estate stuff that I do, you'll know that Russell goes all the way across the valley. Wait. In fact, goes all the way to Summerlin. All right, got the light now. The big Pinball Hall of Fame is over there. That moved. Used to be down, I think, off Maryland Parkway a long time ago. But now it's over here if you want to check that out. And the Little Church of the West wedding chapel that has been here for decades. So these, like I was mentioning earlier, the Deuce Bus, these are all the stops for it, including our local RTC. It's like Route 104 stops here, but the Deuce buses do as well. You can see these people have probably decided to take the walk. The Deuce Bus, by the way, goes all the way from Fremont Street, all the way past the Welcome to Las Vegas sign to our outdoor shopping area called Town Center, Town Square. There's that big pinball. So it really is good value, but if you take it like, say, on a Saturday night, if you've watched one of our Saturday night live streams, you'll see that the Deuce Bus gets kind of jammed up with all the traffic on the Las Vegas Strip. And again, especially if you're coming here in the fall months of, say, September through December, the F1 takes up a lot of space, creates a lot of traffic, reduced lanes. We do construction updates as well on our channel. And we were mentioning the A's ballpark earlier, about that building. They still don't have financing in place. Just because something is being built doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. Case in point, right here. This, up till 2023, with big fanfare, was going to be the Dream Hotel. It was supposed to open in 2024. And through various things, they ran out of money. In fact, they had to come through some deal just to pay the construction off, just so they could get that out. And that is a project dead in the water. Bali High Golf Club, for our golfers out there. This is a very large Harley Davidson store. If we have time at the end of our 30 minutes, we'll kind of get a little bit of a closer look at that. But today, as of filming, we're filming in late October, and our weather is been very good, very mild. But even on a day like today, temperatures right now are in the mid to upper 70s, which you'd think, oh my God, that'd be amazing. But that up there, that sun, really, really pounds on you. So you can only imagine in our summers, if it's 110 degrees or more, you would not want to do this walk. Even if you're like, oh, Jeff said it's only X amount of minutes away. We can walk that. In the summer, don't do this walk. It'll just be way too hot. Unless you do it super early in the morning, which I would recommend if you want a really good picture of yourself and you don't want a lot of people around. I would suggest, if you can, I know we tend to stay up late here in Vegas, but get down here when sunrise. Not only will you get a really good picture, but you probably just have a handful of people. Once we cross the street here, you'll see how many people are down here. A long time ago, this drive carefully, come back soon sign was the only thing standing over here. I still vaguely remember in the very early 80s, my mom and I, we literally drove through Vegas and drove down here. I remember seeing this sign, and then after this sign, like literally nothing, desert. Airport's been here forever. But now here at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, see how many people there are here? They even have their own parking lot, which, if you are coming down here, it makes it a little bit more convenient. The tour buses will often stop here as well. So while that's good, it gets really, really backed up with cars and all of that stuff. So we're going to use this light to cross the street. See, there's even a 5-star limo there. Hit the light here, and we'll wait for a second. And there it is, the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. And look at all the traffic. What was I just mentioning? So here it is, and you can see all the people here. So yeah, if you get here like sunrise, and if you take a tour like we did, get here like 7 o'clock in the morning, it's a lot better situation. You can see some of the signage here. No reserve times, first in time, first in line. Anyone can take a photo. There are no designated photographers. Vendors are not licensed to conduct business at this location. And you will see there is a lot of vendors. You will have guys up there going like, hey, I'll take your picture. And then they'll, of course, want something. It's a hustle, you know. So it took us about 20 minutes to walk here. I'm going to keep going down for a 30-minute walk. And this is what you get to deal with. So I'm going to wait for the lights so we can cross here so we're safe. These cars are going to about 50, 55. And be right back with you. All right, now the traffic has stopped. And you get a nice close look at all the planes. This is where the private jets mostly load in from. But yeah, that is your walk to the Las Vegas, Welcome to Las Vegas sign. And see all the amount of tourists that are here. And again, if you were to do this in summertime and standing out here, there is no shade. It's absolutely brutal. So keep that in mind. And even if you're coming in the winter months, winter we get a lot of cold weather, and that cold weather brings in high winds. So take into account all those things, but as people will say, Jeff, you walked fast. I don't think I walked that fast, but we had to wait for a couple lights, and I didn't want to just stand there and that would be pretty boring. So I made a couple of edits, as you probably saw there. So I would say, especially if you want to kind of browse around, again, don't do this. People are going down 50, 55 miles an hour down here. But if you want to do this walk, say from Mandalay Bay, you probably should allow yourself 30 minutes. And Mandalay Bay is about the southernmost hotel on the Strip corridor. Las Vegas Boulevard, as you have probably heard me say many times, is actually quite a long street. It goes way to the south and way to the north. Here it is, this really large Harley-Davidson store. Even got the big letters out here. It's pretty nicely lit at night, so you can get some cool pictures as well. And of course, get from this side, get some cool pictures of, say, Mandalay Bay. And there it is. A little better look at it. Huge store. There are other locations around town, including, there's one in the Link Promenade, for example. But But I always suggest that you walk on both sides of the Las Vegas Strip, especially if you like taking pictures. You just get like views like this that if you were just staying on one side, you may not get. And there is that dream hotel. That is no more. It is literally not going to be built. So even though the A's are looking like they're just full steam ahead, there hasn't been finalization of funding. We are giving John Fisher and the A's $350 million of our taxpayer money. Don't know why, but they rushed that through our city council. And the rest is undetermined. The ballpark originally was going to cost $1.7 billion, which is absolutely ridiculous for a MLB ballpark. Then it went up to $2 billion. And now with a lot of the economy and everything else, now it's projected to be well above $2 billion for a ballpark. Now granted, if you've been keeping up with our news construction updates, as I was saying earlier, it looks like it's going to be beautiful if it ever gets built. Completely, that is. But just because they're putting all the footings and all that doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. Pinball Hall of Fame, right down there. It's only one way to get in here and one way to get out. So it's not like you can take a back way like you can on some of the hotels. But you might have heard me talk in the past that I used to work at the Tropicana. And I used to work in audiovisual in the conventions. And we're a pretty busy hotel, actually, for conventions. But Mandalay Bay right there, one of the busiest on the Las Vegas Strip. Probably right next to Venetian. Venetian Sands Convention Expo area is the busiest on the Las Vegas Strip. But Mandalay Bay is making a run for it. A couple of years ago or so, they built this whole new extension of their convention center. It is an additional 1 million square feet to their existing convention space. So even if you're staying at Mandalay Bay and you have a conference, it's going to be a walk for you just to get there to your meetings. It's a huge, huge property, as a lot of the Strip properties are. And here we get a better look at the Little Church of the West Wedding Chapel. You will see this here in just about every classic Vegas picture. It has been here for absolute years and years and years. Although this intersection is quite a bit different and a lot larger than it used to be when this was here. I should say when it's still here. But Vegas history still remains, even though they're tearing some of it down, like the Tropicana, which they just imploded last year, and we were front row for that. If you ever want to see a front row on the ground look at the Tropicana implosion, you can just search for that on our channel. We've got a ton of content. Again, if you just found our videos, we have a Walk with Jeff series, which we're doing right now. Got a playlist of all of those. We have a Where's My Coffee, Where's My Room series, which is basically hotel tours. I did that primarily in 2022 and 2023, but a lot can change in 4 years. So starting in 2026, I'm going to be doing all new updated versions of that. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss those. If you don't want to miss them for sure, you have to turn on all those bell notifications. There's 2 different settings. You're going to want to make sure you turn them to all. That way you'll get alerted to our videos and our live streams, like I was saying, which we do every Saturday night. As you can see here, this was the home of the historic pink elephant. They had an auction, all that stuff. But he is still here. Look at him. Look at him right there. Little pink elephant. They did like I said, a whole auction here of this hotel. But that pink little elephant guy, he's still there. And with that, everybody, there's our 30-minute timer. So hope you've enjoyed this walk with Jeff from Mandalay Bay right there to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign. Like I said, I would give yourself probably 30 minutes. Probably going to walk a little bit slower than me. And plus, you're going to probably want to stop along the way and kind of check things out and everything. But I would highly suggest, if you want to do that the very first thing in the morning. If you want your night shots, you're going to have to do it really late at night. Maybe into the wee hours of the morning, speaking of which, until everybody's gone. Else you will be waiting there for quite a long time. So with that, everybody, thank you for watching. If you did watch all the way to the end of this video, let's see. Let's put elephant for that little pink elephant back there. Put elephant down in the comments below. That way it lets us know that you watched all the way to the end. And if you're just doing some housework or whatever, just put us in the background. That helps our analytics. And that's an easy way to support our channel. And even easier to support the channel, hit that thumbs up on this video if you like this content. Subscribe to our channel. It's absolutely free. And like I was saying earlier, turn on those bell notifications that alert you to all these videos and our live streams. All right, everybody, until the next one, stay safe and stay silly. Bye-bye, everybody.